Hi guys, follow me on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I am driving this. This is the Hyundai Santa Fe, the third generation model, and straight away let's open the engine bay of this vehicle. And there it is. Yes, it gets hydraulic struts. This is the CRDI 16V engine, which takes this car from 0 to 100 km per hour in just 8.8 seconds and onto a top speed of 180 km per hour. There's insulation right there. It's a very silent motor. In fact, overall NVH is so brilliant that the only thing you hear is the tire noise of this vehicle. Now, it's a little dirty at the front, but yes, it's been detailed quite nicely and looks brilliant in black. You see the lights get the projector setup. Lights look really nice. In fact, some of you would like the design of this particular Hyundai generation of cars rather than the latest generation, wherein this is not where the main LED light is. It's below. Gets a headlight washer as well. Blacked out grille, chrome Hyundai logo, and of course the car looks really very nice indeed. Now the tires seem to be upsized to 55 18s, and I love the design of the wheels as well. So in terms of design, the Santa Fe definitely looks nice. In fact, there is a puddle lamp here as well, and from the side you can see it looks very purposeful. But yes, it is soft roader, and that's the reason why I did not sell in front of the macho looking Toyota Fortuner, which although doesn't have the same levels of performance, definitely looks more macho. But you know, the car actually looks nice. I love the Santa Fe logo as well, which is quite cool. Yep. And the overall design of the car is super cool. In fact, it doesn't look aged at all. So you've got a rear spoiler here, antenna, and these roof rails don't seem to be functional to me for sure. Now if you black out the windows, it will look even more gangsta. And you've got chrome door handles. Meanwhile, the highlight of this car is the fact that it gets a sports exhaust. Yeah, that is sports exhaust on this car. We'll talk about it when we drive the car, but you can click on the link in the pinned comment to understand more. Let's quickly open the boot of the vehicle. So here you see there is a reverse parking camera, the rear parking sensors. The boot is actually big enough, but you know, this is a 7-seater car where the last 2 seats were also quite good. So yeah, you know, there are the seats. Easy to pull them up and down, but who really cares about 7-seater right now, because this car is no longer on sale. So just going to keep it limited to the performance of the vehicle, but a quick walk around nonetheless. See, there is a 12-volt charging socket right there, hook here, and you know, you press this and you can recline the seats here. So that's also very cool. I mean, the way it was done, and the third row is actually quite usable on this car. AC vents are placed. There's a lot of storage space as well, and like I was telling you, quite usable, the third row of seats. Let's quickly get into the second row of seats. And again, the second row of seats are also having good amount of space on offer. You've got large door pockets. Quality of the vehicle is nice. You've got this sun blind as well at the rear to cut out sun, but no sunroof was ever offered in the Santa Fe in India, which is kind of disappointing. How much we love sunroof now. So even a Venue gets a sunroof. That's how changes are happening. You can split forward the seat 40 20 40 to increase the boot carrying capacity. In fact, yeah, I press that button. In fact, even see the recline angle is changing. Even when you have all the rows up, there's decent amount of space on offer in the boot, which makes it functional. Almost flat floor. There is obviously a proper nice center armrest with cup holders, and the good thing is that it's got 3 adjustable headrests at the rear. Yeah, there is where the AC vent is placed on the B pillar, and there is a 12-volt charging socket. Now because this is an old car, it kind of misses out on a lot of creature comfort which you would see with newer cars. Let me sit behind and let me tell you that under thigh support is on the poor side. Not much under thigh support honestly, but legroom and knee room is decent. In fact, they've scooped out this thing just so that your legs can fit in there. That's also cool. The seat is pushed all the way behind. Headroom is not an issue, which is actually a nice thing for someone who's as tall as me. Meanwhile, look at the dashboard of the car. I love you know, how the center console is done. Very very nice. But you see, the screen is super small. It is absolutely small. That's crazy. Magazine holders obviously, and overall quality of the car is really very nice. In fact, see, it's written Santa Fe there as well, which is kind of cool. So you see, doors shut with a proper third. Now talking about the screen was really very small at 4.3 inches, and they increased the size of the screen to 8 inch, but only on the automatic. Yeah, so the manual kept on coming with the same one, which is kind of surprising. Okay, this is gone for a little toss. See, it's very comfortable. The driver's side gets a 12-way adjustment. The co-passenger doesn't get any adjustment, like electric adjustment, that is. Power window controls. This is for the outside rear view mirrors, and the door pockets are large enough at the front as well. Now this is for the headlight adjustment, the leveler actually. No, this is for the intensity of the instrument cluster. And you know, buttons are not many in this car, but there's storage space here. 12-volt charging socket. You've got, oh, I thought one would be the USB, but that's not the case here. Yeah, there's the USB below with an aux. Storage space, twin cup holders, and dummy buttons. No traction control button is what I could find. But the way this car wheel spins, I am dead sure that it doesn't have any traction control. Good amount of storage space here as well. The glove box is lockable, and lockable glove box. Love the dashboard design. It's really very nice, but it did not get an auto dimming inside rear view mirror. Here you got a mirror along with a light. You have to turn it separately on. Yep, that's the case. Same is the case here as well. And you also got a sunglass holder along with lights here. Yeah, quite functional, I would say, but no auto dimming inside rear view mirror. Well, that is surprising. And there's actually a storage space here as well. This is how the storage space opens. So, you know, Hyundai has put in a lot of storage inside this car. Steering has plenty of buttons. So obviously Bluetooth connectivity buttons are there. Yeah, volume, this is for audio system, this is for the cruise control, this is for the steering mode, and this is for the multi-information display. Quickly we are going to turn on the car so you guys can see what all is on the instrument cluster. So here goes. There it rose to life, showing the Santa Fe silhouette and saying system check. Okay, this center console, rather the multi-information display, is very loaded with a lot of information, telling you distance to empty, fuel economy, and a lot of other things like temperature and odometer as well. And you can easily browse through all this and more using this button on the steering wheel. Yeah, these buttons on the steering wheel to browse the same. This is for the steering mode. You can change the steering mode, sport, comfort, as well as normal, and you can feel there's a change, but it doesn't really help as such. Volume control, it's got climate control, air conditioning on offer, and the air conditioning actually works brilliantly well. The screen is super small. However, there is a reverse parking camera, and you can see something in the reverse parking camera as well. It's got guidelines which are not adaptive. In those days there was no concept of adaptive guidelines. See, it's a super comfy as such, and the seat belt also gets a height adjust function. Yeah, you can adjust the height of the seat belt too. So as you can see, old Hyundai cars were also brilliant in terms of quality, in terms of features. Yeah, this car misses out on a lot of features, but for the time it was pretty good, I would say. Lock the door. Outside rear view mirrors you can just adjust using that, and no push button start here, unfortunately. But that's it. Almost everything inside this cabin feels nice, well aged, and definitely, you know, plastic quality is also pretty good. Lower side obviously it's hard plastic, but this is a soft touch material, and this is a very basic music system. Obviously it's got Bluetooth connectivity. There was no concept of Apple CarPlay or Android Auto in those days. How's the audio quality? Well, let's turn on and see that as well.
It's the new motto. It's the changed mind.
Audio quality is decent, but this is a touchscreen, 4.3 inch touchscreen. Oh my god, that's super small. That's what she said. The horn is also really nice. The dashboard is massive in terms of size. Let's do the wiper test now, shall we? Yeah, good amount of spray on offer. Wipers work brilliantly well on this car as well. But how is it to drive? Well, let's get going right away. All right, we are all set to go. Revving the motor. The amount of torque steer this car does is unbelievable. So this Santa Fe is actually powered by a 2.2 liter diesel engine. Actually, all Santa Fe's which were launched in India were only powered by this sole engine, which is a 2.2 liter CRDI motor producing, okay, look at this. Ever heard a diesel car sounding so good? Well, there is some method to the madness which I'll come to in a bit. Okay, brakes are really very nice and sure-footed as well. Now, like I was telling you, this Santa Fe is powered by a 2.2 liter diesel engine which produces 194 horsepower and 420 Newton meters of torque in the manual. Meanwhile, in the automatic, it produces an additional 16 Newton meters of torque, taking the total torque output to 436 Newton meters. Yeah, only in the automatic there is more torque on offer. You know why? Because the automatic gearbox is a slouch. It's smooth with shifts, but it just kind of upshifts all the time and doesn't really keep a lower gear when you need it the most. As you can see, the performance is really very nice. This car is actually running a tune on it, which means that it's producing more power and torque than I quoted earlier. However, it still weighs a lot, close to 1900 kgs, although there's a weight reduction of 125 kgs when compared to its predecessor, which was also sold in the Indian market, the second generation Santa Fe. This is the third generation of the Santa Fe, which actually came via the CKD route. Now, getting it via the CKD route had a lot of advantages because they actually localized a lot of components. but you know, that advantage buyers did not get because the price was still on the higher side, between 31 to 34 lakhs when it was launched in 2014 at the 2014 Auto Expo. So here we go. The immediate response in every gear is mind-blowing. Yes, there is lag lower down, but this car is running a sports exhaust. A sports exhaust on a diesel, unbelievable now, that isn't it? Well, DNO Motorsport has put a sports exhaust on a diesel car, and Omkar has done something which is not usually done, and the results show, because in every gear the pull once the turbo spools up is really very nice. The sound is so soothing now. I can't believe a diesel car can sound so good. Amazing, isn't it? And thankfully this is the manual, because the automatic is really very disappointing. You have to get into manual mode all the time because the automatic doesn't shift as fast as you would expect. The clutch is not really heavy, not really light either. It's midway, I would say. But most importantly, the sound of this car is so exciting and so soothing as well. But the steering is supremely disappointing. Okay, we have steering modes here somewhere. We have steering modes here. This is the one. Now we are into sport mode for the steering wheel, and trust me, even in sport mode, it is super disappointing the way steering gives any feel of feedback. It's so light and without any life whatsoever. Just look at it. Yeah, torque steer. You can see the torque steer happening all the given time. The suspension is on the softer side. Because of the soft suspension of this car, there's a lot of roll, and especially at the rear it feels extremely bouncy as such. But I love the design of this car. I love the fact that this diesel engine sounds so good and has so much punch. Yes, there is lag lower down, unfortunately, but here we are into 5th gear. Now in 5th gear you realize that, you know, it is around 1000 RPM. My foot is mashed to the floor. No response at all because of the low end lag of this big motor. But you know, Hyundai's actually improved the dynamics of this car. The 2nd generation Santa Fe, I remember driving it. Every time I used to accelerate, I used to jump flyovers, I used to go from one flyover to another flyover. That was the amount of torque steer on offer. Absolutely insane. Anyways, there is considerable amount of body roll on offer, and this car is not really a handler by any means of imagination, more so because the steering is just so freaking numb. In sport mode it's like that. If I get it into comfort mode, well, it is super lifeless. There's no life in the wheel at all. Sport mode is bearable for enthusiasts, but still not good enough. 3rd gear pull, just hear it. Let's do one thing, let's just stop. Okay, there is so much wheel spin. Even in 3rd gear the car will wheel spin as long as you pull it right, because this exhaust works wonders. Here we're revving the motor. Rev still almost 5000 RPM, and you know, the pull is so good that even once, okay, see, we're pulling, I leave the accelerator, the revs don't go down fast enough, it still keeps pulling. That is the effect of the sports exhaust, which is doing wonders on this car. I mean, the car really sounds amazing, both from the inside as well as outside. On the outside it actually sounds better by leaps and bounds, and that's something which makes me think that why don't more of us do a sports exhaust on a diesel? Well, the simple reason is not many people do it in India, but Omkar does it, and he's done a great job on this car. So if you guys want to get a sports exhaust on your car, you can just click on the pinned comment and get in touch with DNO Motorsports. Anyways, downshift. This gearbox is actually quite a pleasure to use. I love manual gearbox. It's so much fun indeed. Fuel economy is between 7 to 10 kilometers per liter, again depending on your driving style, but you know, it has a 64 liter fuel tank capacity, which is decent enough. The price was 31 to 34 lakhs when this car was actually launched initially in 2014, like I was telling you, and then the price kept rising, nearing almost 40 lakhs for the top end, which happened to be a 4-wheel drive with automatic. Unfortunately, Hyundai decided that, you know what, let's just sell the Tucson instead. So the Tucson's pricing was near to what the Santa Fe's pricing was when it was initially launched. The Santa Fe was initially launched. So what they decided to do is, discontinue the Santa Fe. Although there was a proper facelift which came around globally. Okay, over bumps, it feels comfortable, but you know, it's just too much movement because the suspension is overly soft. Okay, brakes are nice. Here we are into 1st gear. 1st gear is so good. You know, when you hard brake, forget that. The sound is so amazing. So when you hard brake, there's some amount of nosedive on offer as well, and you know, the car doesn't feel composed at all. Even Hyundai knows that, because with the facelift which came in around 2015 in the US, didn't come to Indian market. The facelift did not come to India at all. Hyundai actually, you know, not only gave it more features, which is the norm with facelifts and, you know, tweaks in terms of design, they also went ahead and made changes to the chassis, the suspension, and the lackluster steering wheel as well. But you know, in 2018 the new generation of the Santa Fe was launched, the 4th generation, which happens to get a design language similar to the Venue as well as the Creta, and that was again rumored to come to the Indian market, but it's not going to be coming because they're planning to get the Palisade instead as the new flagship vehicle. Again, the price would be close to rupees 50 lakhs, but forget that for a moment. Here we are into first gear. I love the fact that it has a manual handbrake. I love the fact that there's so much thrust, and here we go. 5000 RPM is very red lines. This motor is so refined now, I tell you, it is super duper smooth and refined, and it doesn't get vocal in a bad way at all, even when you push it hard. That dieselness, that clatteriness is not there at all. The exhaust works wonders on this car. I can't believe an exhaust can put a massive smile on your face the way it does on this Santa Fe. And every time I get on the gas, I realize what an engine, what a brilliant engine. So Omkar was telling me he can actually extract even more performance from this car, and I was wondering how. So he said, you know, as long as you can deal with the amount of torque steer this vehicle is going to offer, because obviously there is a ton of torque steer on offer. Naturally there has to be, because this car wheel spins already right now. So if you put in more punch, it's just going to wheel spin like crazy. That said, I firmly believe that the Santa Fe has huge potential in the Indian market, considering the quality of this car, which is 6 years old right now, is so much better than the Toyota Fortuner, which is in a new generation completely. So the new generation of the Santa Fe would kick some serious ass. Although, you know, it looks soft-roader, it's a monocoque platform. Power is being channeled to the front wheels unless and until you opt for the 4-wheel drive version. And it doesn't give the traditional SUV feel, but it's a very capable car off the road. I love pulling it in 3rd gear. Okay, 3rd gear pull. That's brilliant. It's absolutely sensational the way it pulls into 3rd gear. And it has a 6-speed gearbox, so there are 3 more gears to go. You know what, you're going to eat the brakes on this car because the performance is so good. Just short shift, don't take it to the red line, and it will reward you even further. That's mind-boggling, isn't it? Anyways, here we go. So cornering is not an issue. It's just that, you know, when you're cornering, remember one thing, that random wheel screeches, wheel spins and whatnot as well. However, Hyundai thought, you know, that people who opt for the manual don't deserve to be safe. That's why the manual only had 2 airbags. The automatic had 6 airbags. Actually, that's very surprising, you know. It's not only just the manual. It's actually the 4-wheel drive had 6 airbags. The 2-wheel drive had only 2 airbags. But that doesn't make any logical sense now, does it? That said, we're going to take a U-turn. Now, taking a U-turn is so easy on this car because even though it's a heavy car, it's a big car, Hyundai has always made the steering super light and easy. So, you know, taking a U-turn is so freaking easy. All the given moment, and the wheel spin is so soothing as well. So guys, this is the Hyundai Santa Fe, a brilliant car, a car which I absolutely loved when I drove it when it was launched in the Indian market as well. But unfortunately, you know, Hyundai decided to go the premium way. I think the whole idea of pricing this at a premium was that, you know, what Hyundai wanted to do was showcase itself to be a premium maker of SUVs before they launched the Creta, and the Santa Fe was something which actually did it for them. And then they came with the Tucson, but mainly the idea was to sell the Creta and then get the Venue and sell that as well, which makes me stop here right now, put the car in 1st gear. Here we are into 1st gear. We're going to rev the nuts out and dump the clutch. Here we are. So 1st gear isn't the most exciting part. I think 3rd gear is the most exciting part. I don't know why. Why 3rd just feels so mind-bogglingly phenomenal to me, personally speaking. I mean, every time I put it in 3rd, I just smile massively because 3rd just feels so good on this car. It's absolutely brilliant. Here we are, and cornering and accelerating at the same time kind of seems dangerous because it just pushes ahead so fast, so hard, and so unbelievably well as well. Meanwhile, I just miss this 2.2 liter diesel because I honestly feel that a 2.2 liter diesel is the need of the hour in a big SUV. And, you know, obviously they cannot put this engine in an Elantra because of the mounting layout, which is different between a sedan and an SUV. But what an engine, what a brilliant engine. And, you know, in spite of this, I don't feel anything. I don't feel the weight. I don't feel the massive girth of this car, all thanks to the fact that it is so light and the steering is light but lacking any sort of feel whatsoever. So guys, this is my vlog of the Hyundai Santa Fe, the 3rd generation model, and not the one which got updated features. They launched a model with updated features wherein the screen became bigger in size, and that's not all. It also got automatic headlights, but that's something which I've already spoken about during the walk around of this video. So if you like this vlog, you know what you have to do. Give it a thumbs up. I have never felt better in 3rd gear in my life. If you like this vlog, you know what you have to do. Give it a thumbs up, that's the like button, and also subscribe to the channel. And I will see you guys in the next video real soon. Meanwhile, downshift 2nd gear, and here we go. Turbo spools up and off we go. Bye bye.